Our first question for you is from the Alderman from the City of Chicago, Illinois, the Honorable Ray Colon.
I have to say that this is kind of a fix, because this guy's a longtime friend of mine. But go ahead and ask the question.
All right. Many Latinos are living through our nation's mortgage crisis. Their family and friends have either lost their homes or about to, or can't make payments on them. Every day they also face the challenge in meeting growing costs of food and fuel. As president, what will you do to ensure that the working middle class Americans can realize the American dream, the sueño americano?
Well, let's start on housing, because so much of what's happening in our communities and the decline of the economy is because of the housing crisis. It's also part of the reason why the unemployment rate among Hispanics is higher than the national average by a significant amount, because so many people were working in construction. We have to stabilize the housing market, and the Latino community as well as the African community is particularly hard hit when it comes to foreclosures. So I am very supportive and have been working actively to promote legislation Barney Frank and Chris Dodd have been working on. It's a very simple concept that we'd have the FHA and the federal government step in and help the negotiations between borrower and lenders, so that people who have been making their payments but are at risk of losing their homes, that they can stabilize with a 30-year mortgage, and we can finally stabilize the housing market. That is going to have a powerful impact all across the country. Now, we also have to crack down on predatory lenders and have better regulation to make sure that this problem is not one that continues on into the future. And making sure that credit markets and banks are operating in an honorable way in our communities is critically important, and I know a lot of you locally are working on those issues. That's step number one. Step number two, I think that now is the time for us to provide an additional tax stimulus to help not only get the economy going, but also help provide some relief to local families. So what I've said is, let's give another round of tax relief, a couple of $100s in people's pockets to absorb rising costs of gas and food. And I want a permanent $1,000 tax cut for every family to offset their payroll tax, because the truth is that even before this recession, working families were not benefiting from a growing economy. Most of it was going to the wealthiest Americans. It wasn't going to your constituents. And that's something that I think has to be reversed, because our economy grows best when it grows from the bottom up. When the janitor, when the teacher, when the bus driver, when the construction worker, when they are making decent money and able to support their families, then everybody does well. So this tax cut is designed to help tilt the playing field in favor of work and not just wealth. Third thing, infrastructure. Now is the time for us to reinvest in rebuilding our roads and our bridges, our schools. A lot of schools, because of the growth in the Latino population, are way overcrowded. If we start a major construction and infrastructure program all across the country, that can put people back to work who've been laid off as a consequence of the housing crisis. It will strengthen our economy, and it makes us competitive over the long term. Number four, universal health care. Your constituents are more likely to be uninsured. You've got people who have 2, 3 jobs and still don't have health insurance. I put forward a plan that says if you've got health insurance, we're going to lower your premiums by $2,500 per family per year. And if you don't have health insurance, you can buy a health care plan similar to the one that I have as a member of Congress, and we will subsidize you if you can't afford it, so that everybody has good quality care, especially preventive care. There shouldn't be any child in a barrio or an inner city anywhere across the country who is going to an emergency room for treatable illnesses like asthma. They should be able to go to a regular doctor and get a decent checkup, and that will be cheaper for us in the long term and provide some families relief. Finally, long term, 2 things that we've got to work on. One is energy. Gas prices are killing folks, but the only way we're going to bring gas prices down long term is to invest in renewable energies, solar, wind, biodiesel, new technology for automobiles. We're slating $15 billion a month on that front, and something that all of you know, and that's education. If we are not able to get our young people graduating from high school and going to college, they're not going to succeed in this 21st century economy. And the talent that exists in the Latino community is there. The aspirations are there, but the resources have to be there as well. That's why I've put forward a $4,000 tuition credit every student every year to be able to go to a college. We'll make community college essentially free, and every student who gets out of college, if they want to go, or if they once they get out of high school, if they want to go to a technical college or they want to go to a four-year university, we are going to provide them the scholarships to make sure that that happens. That's the long-term recipe for economic success.
Thank you.
All right.